Well, Ryan, this Metro Bank One Day Cup keeps serving up thrillers. First of all, mindset at the interval when we had 307 on the board.
Look, we knew it was a flat wicket. It's a beautiful cricket surface here, and fast outfield. We probably you're always going to take 300. Don't get me wrong, but we probably lost our way for a little while there. And luckily, delayed her and Mustard finished the innings really nicely and got us to where we were. But look, really happy and proud of Ben McKinney, to be honest. The way he's gone about his work in this last 4 or 5 weeks, I get the feeling the penny's almost dropped about what we want from him. And like again, at the start of his innings, he's not blowing teams away, but we just know that if he gets in, he can catch up so fast, and so happy for him to get his 100. And like 307, we think, of course, we feel that we can defend that. And in the end, it got a bit closer than what we thought.
You said there, McKinney he can catch up. He helped set the platform almost at the end. And then you mentioned we did lose our way kind of once he got out. How important is it for guys to be able to stand up, and also guys that haven't had a lot of first team experience like McKinney, like Hayden, George Isel with the ball at the end, guys who haven't played a lot of first team red ball cricket this year? So how impressed are you by our fringe players to, when they get these opportunities, to make the most out of them?
Well, that's the whole thing about this competition, and what we talk about is that what I expect from those guys, they're not in to make up the numbers. We expect them, if you're a batter, go win us a game. Your currency is 100. If you're batting in the middle order, finish the game off. If you're bowling, we're going to throw you the ball in the heat of the battle, because that's the only way they're going to get better. And that's why I love this competition. It gives them an opportunity, and also an opportunity for me to watch them under the most, the pressure cooker of a game of cricket. So, so far so good. Like I say, you're going to have ups and downs. That's always going to happen with young players, but we're hoping that they are learning from the senior pros that are around them, and fingers crossed we're improving as a team.
This squad, this group of players doesn't seem to crack under pressure. They are battle tested. They know how to respond in moments of adversity. We mentioned George Isel there. Just talk us through what you've seen from him, and it speaks a lot that Leesy was confident in him to give him the ball at such an important point, and he turned the game on its head in that final 10-12 overs. Just speak to how pleasing that is for a guy who was also injured a couple of weeks ago when maybe wouldn't have got as big an opportunity.
Yeah, well, we have high hopes for George, and I know, when we brought in Callum Parkinson, we know that we brought in a quality spinner, but at some point there's going to be a time when we want to play two spinners, and those two are perfect for each other. And so every time we give George the opportunity, he has to take that, and he has to really keep pushing his name. And like what he's doing at the moment is so good for him and for the team. And now I get the feeling he too now wants it. He wants the ball in the heat of the battle. And he's an off spinner. I would say he's a traditional off spinner. The ball that he bowls, it's perfectly up and down. He likes to give it a bit of flight and stuff like that. So. Again, long way to go, but the long-term success of George will be if we're playing him in red ball as well as Callum, and that, I think, makes us a very good team.
You mentioned there that you want the younger guys, the guys who haven't had as much senior experience, to lean on the guys with the senior experience. How important has it been for you and the coaching staff to get that balance? We've got the likes of Alex Lees, white ball skipper Michael Jones, Scott Borthwick, Basileida, Brandon Glover. These guys have played international cricket. And then you've got Mitch Killeen, guys like him, Hayden Mustard. What have been those conversations like about striking that right balance between experience and youth?
Well, I think everyone knows that I'm going to give as much youth a chance as we can. And like I say, I've always believed that as long as they're surrounded by senior players, you can't just throw them all in at once, but give them senior players to learn from, then I think we'll keep going forward. And they're going to make mistakes, but as long as they're learning from it. If they keep making the same mistake, then we've got to have a serious conversation. But like I say, I think our youngsters, we're far from the finished product. We know that. But as long as we can keep giving them more opportunity, it's why, everyone probably raised eyebrows when I didn't bring Paul Coughlin on this trip. Big game, we need our best bowler. He's the leader of our attack. But, Coggers, we have to look after him, and he'd been on road trips and, coming here 8.5 hours on the bus would not have done him the world of good.
I mean, Ben Rain hasn't played in the last few games either.
We're keeping Ben to make sure that he's okay for red ball cricket. So, look, at the end of the day, we got to have faith, and sometimes it's going to raise eyebrows, and like I say, the fans might get a little bit, what's going on? But I promise you, there's always a big picture in mind, and that's the thing. Even with Alex as our captain, occasionally I have to remind him there's a bigger picture here, mate. That this is one competition, but we also have T20 quarterfinal and 5 crucial 4-day matches. The back end of this season. So, yeah, there's always a method to my madness.
Trust the process, I think some would say. Must-win game for us. We've got it under the belt. We now have another huge game against Derbyshire. Just this, as I said earlier, this group doesn't buckle under pressure. Just how much more confidence and exuberance and excitement now do we now go into that game with back-to-back wins under our belt?
Well, like I say, now we have it under our control. If we win, we go through. It's simple as that. And that's what we are here to do. We want to play finals. We want to have the extra pressure of a final. And every game we play, it's kind of like a final now, because you lose one, you're out. So I can't wait for that stuff. As an Aussie, we're brought up always playing finals and stuff, and it's not something we do here very much, but it's where you find out about all your players. So I really look forward to Wednesday. We'll assemble another squad. We'll make some changes. I'm not denying it. There'll be lots of changes for that last game, and hopefully we can pull off a win and go to the quarterfinals.